So I lived in the UK for a significant part of my life now. One of the things that has been growing in issue is the lack of affordable housing and the lack of housing more generally because the population has increased a lot since 2004 when the EU expanded its member state program, and obviously the UK was part of the EU until 2021. So a lot of people came over from Eastern European countries, and and therefore created a bigger burden on housing here. So now rents are extraordinarily high. I mean, the UK has per capita the highest rent costs in the whole of Europe. Taking into account countries like Germany and France. So that tells you how expensive it is to have a roof over your head these days. And for me, because I've have had an inconsistent employment, I had to compromise, and I decided to live with my parents and my twin brother, even though they have got issues, severe health issues, particularly my father and my brother, and it's not necessarily the most pleasant environment to live in. But but I have a room. It's relatively spacious. It is next to a busy road, so it can be noisy, and that can cause me to have a little bit of stress and frustration because of that. But it is airy, it is spacious, and it gives me a degree of uh, privacy. But it's still not enough because obviously it is not soundproof, so you can hear a lot of sound. You can hear if people are walking. You can hear if people are chattering in the background, and sometimes I obviously have to use earplugs, to kind of subside the noise. And it doesn't eradicate it completely. It just subsides the noise enough for me to be able to get on with doing things like, for example, reading, or even if I just want to play a game and just want to focus on something, I can do it better without the background noise. I mean, if you look at even in sports, for example, if you watch a sport like tennis, or even more high intellectual sports like chess, I mean, it seems like sound is the enemy of concentration. People who need to extreme concentration and focus don't like background noise, and it's just the way that the brain is wired for some reason, that we are only able to concentrate on something if there's less distractions around us. And for me here, I have felt a little bit anxious by this. The fact that I feel like I lack that true, complete, pure privacy, or having nobody who can listen to me, nobody who I can hear when I walking, when I talking, or it kind of makes you feel, yes, I have my room, but you never feel that you're truly private, because somebody can always hear if you're walking and talking. So are you somebody who is in this type of a situation where you're struggling to feel like you're a true private space of your own, where you can, where somebody doesn't have to necessarily know what you're doing. If you're in the room, if you're talking to somebody, if you're, I don't know, moving, if in a way it feels like sometimes it does bother me, and sometimes I do feel like in a way that I'm also bothering other people in here, because like I said, my family, they've got health issues as well, so it kind of, you feel more like self-conscious about what you do. But let me know what your experience has been to living in, maybe in you're living in cramped conditions, or you're living with too many people, or maybe you don't even have your own room. Maybe you're in a situation where you have to share with other family members or members of your own family, because you can't afford to even have your own room. I mean, the situations in major city, particularly in a place like London, is where a lot of people are turning into a lot of landlords are turning into HMOs. So home, housing multiple occupants, I think it's translated as. I almost forgot, but that's what it's translated to. So there's I don't know, people occupying, pretty much adults occupying every room, and sometimes a couple of adults occupying just a room just suitable for one person. Let me know if you've experienced that and how you fought with it. Thank you.